Goeienaand. Good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. Now, as my older subscribers will know, I have been for many months now warning tourists about the dangers of coming to South Africa. And you would think that the few remaining safe, if I can put that in inverted brackets, safe places left to visit in South Africa, you would protect those and try and protect your tourism industry. That, remember, Ramaphosa earlier this year said in 5 years they're going to double the number of tourists coming to South Africa. Good luck with that. Just earlier today, at Hope Bay, a young Ukrainian man was stabbed to death, a tourist, when he left the car park and started a walk into the hills. What were they after? His backpack. And they killed him for his backpack. That happened just today, earlier today. That's an isolated incident, okay? But it's certainly not a good calling card for tourists who look at coming to South Africa. But what they're about to do at Kruger National Park is just appalling. I've had reports that sewage is now flowing into rivers going through the Kruger National Park because of the complete breakdown of services in some of these townships. And now they're going to exacerbate that. Let me tell you how. It's just absolutely appalling. And I'll play you a video after this intro when I was in the Kruger National Park. It was about 7 years ago, and it was just so beautiful. And just talking about the Kruger National Park, now even the roads going to the main gates are now being blocked off, and I've got video footage of that too. I mean, it is just shocking how they're just destroying their own tourism industry, which leads to job losses, which leads to starvation, which leads to, well, we know where that's going. A legal fight is brewing over a large proposed coal mining project on the southern doorsteps of the Kruger National Park. I wonder who owns that. I reckon that's got to be Chinese. Conservationists are worried that if the project is given the green light, it could have a catastrophic impact on the already stressed Crocodile River system and negatively affect tourism and agriculture. Manzoldwani Investments, based in Imalalaweni, or Witbank, Mpumalanga, has applied for a mining right for coal, pseudocoal and torbanite in an area spanning 17,975 hectares near Kamatiport. For a mining right area as large as this, the consequences of coal mining could be devastating to the future sustainability living of people and biodiversity in this area, says Francois Krieger, a land use scientist at the Mpumalanga Parks and Tourism Agency, or MTPA. The area will include Marloth Park, Ngwenya Lodge, and all the farms, which include sugarcane, bananas, mangoes, oranges, etc., all the way to Kamatiport. Marloth, Ngwenya, and these farms form the buffer zone of the K&B, explains Cindy Benson of the Marloth Park Ratepayers Association. Marloth Park is a huge tourist destination. This is due to the fact that we have wildlife roaming freely between the residential houses, B&Bs, lodges, etc., with pedestrians, cyclists and joggers constantly on our roads. Having heavy trucks laden with coal will spell disaster to humans and the wildlife crossing our roads as to injury and fatalities, she said. Legal action against the proposed project is now on the cards by Marloth Park residents. John Davies, the project coordinator for raptor conservation and research at the Endangered Wildlife Trust, says a major concern is the fact that much of the development falls within the Kruger National Park buffer zone. The buffer zone is supposed to be like an area where people and animals interact. while 2 critical biodiversity areas are also found within the development. Additionally, one of the properties, Lionsprate, is classified as a nature reserve. The most significant concern is the impact on water within the area. The Crocodile River is under extreme pressure from water abstraction through various forms, including industry, domestic use, and agriculture. The addition of a coal mine on this already stressed system would have catastrophic consequences, not only to the natural environment, but also to all residents in the region and associated economic activities, he says. This water source is also critical to Mozambique, and lessening the flow of the Crocodile River will place pressure on bilateral agreements between South Africa and Mozambique in terms of the usage and sharing of water resources. Benson agrees. The most important threat is the impact the coal mine will have on our water. Already we do not have sufficient water. Marloth Park was without any drinking water for 4 days in the beginning of July. The mine aims to produce approximately 20 million tons of high-grade coal per year, which means that the mine will use approximately 11.62 billion litres of water per year, she states. The Quena Dam is at 40%, and the Crocodile River catchment and its tributaries are disastrously low. Davies says the potential for water contamination is prevalent. As with most types of mining, groundwater contamination is also a grave concern, as many people rely on boreholes for their water supply. Krieger says the MTPA is committed with Kruger Park and other stakeholders to ensure due process is followed during the environmental assessment and/or authorization process. For applications received between 2012 and 2015, the MTPA's Land Use Advisory scientists objected to prospecting applications for coal and iron ore in this area, as it lies within a restricted ecological support area and the 10-kilometre buffer of the Kruger National Park. No quarrying or open-cast mining may be allowed in these areas, as such land use activities will compromise the biodiversity objectives of the area. Therefore, the Department of Mineral Resources has declined the iron ore prospecting application, but until now no feedback has been received on the other prospecting applications that were objected to. In its July 8th Environmental Impact Assessment and Environmental Management Program, the firm's consultants, Singo Consulting, sounds Chinese to me, state how the project will create long-term national benefits of a reliable power supply and resultant socio-economic benefits, ensure the supply of a secure long-term supply of coal to Eskom, and create needed job creation. During the operational phase, the mine will employ about 150 people, but Davies says in all likelihood this is far fewer than the number of jobs that will be lost. And I would add to that, if this is a Chinese operation, and I pretty well reckon it is, guess what? The Chinese are honorary blacks, so they don't have to worry about BEE. They just import their own labor from China, and it doesn't create one local job. That's what's going on here. Anyway, Davies continued by saying, the impact on local businesses, in particular farms and tourism enterprises, is a very hard factor to quantify, but will undoubtedly be significant. Tourism in particular, representing a sustainable form of income for many people, will be affected, and the associated job losses attributed directly to this planned development will surely outweigh those created. It's extremely short-sighted to invest in such a high-impact form of development with a projected lifespan of only 30 years, when sustainable forms of job creation exist and could rather be focused on, he says. Singo's document says not allowing the mine to proceed would leave a valuable resource in the ground and would result in no economic benefit, no job creation, and no supply of coal to Eskom and exports. Now, you wonder who's got their hand in the till here, because obviously they're going to be parliamentarians in the ANC who will be wanting to see this project to go ahead because of the benefits coming directly back to them. Benson says the no-go option will, however, impact positively on the existing way of life, especially for farmers and people living on the plots. What he means by the no-go option means that no mining. But Benson says mining impacts on biodiversity and associated economic systems or ecosystems can last for centuries and cause permanent and irreversible impacts on the environment. These impacts pose serious risks to other economic activities, livelihoods, and the ecological infrastructure. Francois Rousseau of agricultural interest group SAI says the quantity of water needed for the planned mine will significantly lower the water tables of adjacent farms, and affected irrigation farmers will be impacted as far as 300 kilometers along the river. I don't think it will be responsible if a mining application granted in South Africa affects river and water quality in Mozambique. We will be contacting the Mozambican authorities to discuss the effect this mine will have on them directly. This is a very high-intensity agricultural area. If you look at the proposed mining area, it will yield a once-off investment, and thereafter that whole area will be dead. I don't understand why you'd want to put a coal mine in one of the most beautiful areas of the country. We have sought legal opinion and will go ahead with legal action if required. This week, AfriForum sent a legal letter to the firm and its environmental consultants over alleged flaws in the consultation process. Why are we surprised? Someone's got their hand in the till. The planned mine, it says, will devastate the surrounding area. The Crocodile River, nature reserves, the national park, wildlife, natural beauty, and agricultural activities. AfriForum will launch a process to stop the planned mine. Good on you, AfriForum. But Raymond Zulu, a director of Manzonlwane Investments, dismisses threats to legal action. They are drunk. It's an unwinnable case. We are following all the correct procedures. They're going to waste their money for nothing. The only people objecting are the white people. Some are not even staying in Marloth Park. They're in Australia, England, Joburg, in America. Where we are going to start mining is about 12 kilometers from Marloth Park. The people who are supporting us are the black people. They are hungry, and we have to develop their lives and their places in the right manner. The Kruger is far from the place we're going to mine. I cannot talk about someone who cares about animals and does not care about human beings. Absolutely incredible. But Benson disputes this. They want to mine right under Marloth Park, right under Ngwenya, not 12 kilometers away. They are promising jobs, but only 50 people from Umkomazi local municipality will be hired. The other jobs will be for professional people. What he, Zulu, doesn't say is how the impacts of this mine is going to destroy thousands of jobs in the hospitality, tourism, and agricultural sector, which will go to ruin. Thus, the biggest financial and economic source in the Mpumalanga area. Who wants to visit Marloth Park, Ngwenya, or the Kruger if there's a mine there? The Crocodile River doesn't just feed the animals, it feeds all the people and the communities in that area. There's no water for farmers to produce. There is no drinkable water for anybody in the community because the rivers are so low. Yet they want to destroy the river even further. Now, clearly, there is something very, very wrong with this application. And the biggest impact is going to be on that dying industry in South Africa called tourism. One of the safer places for tourists to go has now disappeared. We know Cape Town is no longer a safe place for tourists to go. Drakensberg is pretty unsafe because you've got to go through townships to get there. And now they're going to have a go at the Kruger National Park. It's what's called shooting yourself in the foot. All right, guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. I'll show you the little video that I took when I was in Kruger National Park a few years ago. Ring the bell for the updates and have a great evening or great day.
We're at the Mestel waterhole and come across a few elephant. And if you have a look over there, you can see the elephant actually playing in the water. And there's a hippo near them, so you might even see the elephant chasing the hippo.
They're having so much fun. The elephants, they usually also come to drink in the morning and then late afternoon. A big male elephant like this will drink up to 150 litres of water in a day.
Wow.
This is actually 5 males here, all males.
Is there a female there too?
Nah, they're all males there.
So is there like one dominant male who's showing the other elephants around? Or
They don't really. They won't. I suppose they will have a hierarchy between them, but they'll just form. They won't stay together all the time either. Quite often you'll find them by themselves as well. But I'm sure they will have some kind of hierarchy amongst them while they're together. But especially if there's a group of females around, then it would be the biggest and oldest bull there that would mate with them. It'd be nice if they go in as well.
Hippo over there now.
Yeah, there's a few hippos there. Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3 or 4 there.
they're staying out of the way of the elephants?
Yeah, they will do. Quite often as well, if it's a small waterhole and there's animals there drinking, like zebra, giraffe, anything, if elephants come, they usually chase all the other animals away, so they have it to themselves.
And do they do that just by stampeding them, or do they make a noise?
Yeah, they'll make noise as well, yeah, they'll chase them away. So hippo again.
What does flapping their ears, what does that mean there?
Keeping cool?
Yeah, they cool down. Just see, the elephants have very thick skin. In some places they reckon it's thick, like an inch thick. But on their ears, it's obviously where the skin is very thin. So they have a lot of veins of blood vessels running through the ears. And they reckon both sides of the ears makes up about 20% of the whole surface area of the elephant. So yeah, they wave their ears to cool the blood down in the ears. They reckon it's about 20 minutes or so for all the blood in the body to go through the ears and be cooled down.
En ze zijn nu ook in het water. The other ones are always also
Yeah.
in water now.
One's pretty much all the way in, look.
He's trying to mount the other one.
They can get between 10 and 12 litres in their trunk one time.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot, eh? That's like 20 of these.
Gee.
These are half a litre, yeah.
Er zijn meerdere nijlpaarden bij elkaar ook weer, hè?
Mm-hmm.
Ja.
Play fighting now.
A little trunk sticking up.
Yeah.
Zeker.
Well, this one's right under now, down the bottom there. I'll let it go towards the hippos.
Ja.
Oh, there's 5 hippos there. 5. Yeah. Staring each other out now, look. Go.
Now what?
Oop.
I'm hiding.
That's awesome.
Showing off.
Yeah.
En die andere is ook helemaal onder water nou.
Ja.
Maar onderneath.
Yeah, this one there.
Ja.
And that one now as well, yeah. He's laid down as well.
And they're nearby the hippos, huh? See?
Yeah, very close.
Yeah.
They don't seem to be paying any attention to the hippos, do they?
Two are fighting now, down the right,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
or playing.
Yeah, playing.
You can hear the tusks knocking. Was that blowing bubbles?
Could have been.
Sounded like it.
They often rumble like this, just communicating to each other. But most of the communicating we can't actually hear. They communicate on a such a low level that humans can't hear it.
Oh, okay. Would a video camera pick it up if you got the audio?
It's probably if you slow. Yeah, if you. I know because that's how they found out because they recorded it, but then they really do it, slow it down or something. I don't know. Yeah, and they think they can communicate up to 2 kilometres apart from each other.
Sure.
Yeah, and we can't even hear any of it.
That's a bit sneaky. Whoa, there we go. Here's flapping. We had an elephant very close to us yesterday on the road, and it was facing with its backside to us, and it let rip with the most enormous, you know what.
Yeah. Yeah, they can. All right.